Hey everybody, this is Walt.
This is Max.
And you are listening to the podcast ABCs of Rock and Metal.
We call it Anti-Seminal, and we are Useless Info Inc. as always. And today, Walt, we're doing a heavy hitter for Jay.
Judas
Priest, that's right. We're doing Stained Class from 1978. All right, give me some context on this one, Walt.
Well, it's the band's fourth album, like you said, released in 78 on Columbia Records, produced by Dennis McKay, worked with mostly jazz and fusion acts before Priest.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something.
And the weird thing about that is that this is the album where they kind of tighten up their writing style.
Yeah. Before
this album, they were more kind of proggy, like more kind of like extended songs, right?
Right.
So to think that a jazz guy who's going to be used to that kind of thing comes up and gives them a tighter songwriting thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think Priest had also changed up at this point.
In what sense?
Just sound-wise. I mean, you know, the debut, Rock-a-Rolla, was more psych-tinged rock, you know, psychedelic.
Yeah. Bluesy as well.
Yeah, blues-based.
Yeah.
The same with Sad Wings, Sad Wings of Destiny.
Uh-huh.
They had changed up their look, too, from
right.
dashikis and long blowout hair and cowboy hats and stuff.
They figured out the 60s were over?
Yeah, pretty
much. At
much.
that point? Yeah, okay.
Pretty much. For leather and studs.
Yeah.
The biker look.
Yep.
A lot tougher, meaner.
Yeah.
Than, you know, running around in a dashiki.
That's not tough.
I don't know, maybe in certain circles. Maybe.
I can rock a dashiki.
You made me choke.
You kidding?
I'd like to see that shit.
Yeah, I know.
But by the fourth record, they finally came into their sound, is what I'd like to think.
This is the one that really kind of defined Judas Priest.
Oh, yeah.
I think of the first three albums, and don't get me wrong, I actually really like the first three albums. But
yeah,
it felt
Sin
like
After Sin is the
they
other
were
record.
experimenting a lot, right? They're trying to... Sin After Sin especially, I kind of feel like on one song they sound kind of like Queen, then kind of Black Sabbath, then kind of Led Zeppelin, and like Deep Purple.
Their influences, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. So they're trying different things, but on this one, they are Judas Priest.
Right.
And then they kind of continue in that vein from here on out.
They're not the Priest that formed in 68? I
Was
believe they formed in 68?
Yeah, that's when they formed, but they didn't release an album until, Rock... Because they originally had a different singer.
Right,
when they first formed. I can't remember that guy's name.
Me neither.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Rob Halford kind of erased him.
Yeah, because they never recorded with him.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I think, they just played around.
Exactly.
Played out.
Yeah.
Played around. Harumph.
Yeah. They had some changes, and then Rob Halford came on.
Yeah.
When did Rock-a-Rolla come out? I'm trying to remember. It's
74.
Is that 74?
74,
That sounds about right. Yeah,
74.
Yeah.
And then 76 was Sad Wings of Destiny.
Yeah.
And 77 was Sin After Sin.
Okay. Yeah,
so, like a lot of other rock bands at the time, they released records kind of back to back.
Yeah.
Almost yearly. Mm-hmm. A lot of bands in the 60s and 70s put out an album every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of bands nowadays, I mean, Tool in particular, take 8 to 10 years to put out their next record.
My God, yeah. Exactly.
I think it's been something like 10 years for Tool. So,
with
older rock bands, they put out more material consecutively, kind of one after another.
Right.
And I think that's why Priest also has something like 16 to 18 studio albums.
Yeah, it's huge.
Not counting live albums.
Yeah.
Not counting singles.
Yeah.
Not counting soundtracks.
All the way up until Firepower, which is like last year, right?
Yeah. Which is actually really good.
It's a good album.
Really good.
We saw them for Redeemer of Souls, one previous to that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the lineup on this one, because they were fairly consistent throughout their career, except for the drummer. Right? And this is the first one with Les Binks. Am I getting that right? How long did he last?
He stayed with them for 3 albums.
Okay.
It was this album, then I believe it's Point of Entry.
I think
and
wasn't
then
the next one
British Steel.
I think the next one was Hellbent for Leather, Killing Machine, wasn't it?
Right. It's Killing Machine.
Then
right.
British Steel, right?
Right. Then British Steel.
And
then Point of
Entry.
That's correct.
And Point of Entry had somebody else, or
no? So you got Stained Class, Killing Machine, Hellbent for Leather here in the States.
Yeah.
And then British Steel.
Yeah.
So those 3.
Okay.
So by Point of Entry, he had left.
Right. Okay.
I believe he had left.
And I forgot the name of the guy who was with them then.
Dave Holland.
Right, and he was there for a while.
79 to 89.
Yeah, and Painkiller. They got a new drummer for Painkiller, right?
I believe so.
Because that one really kind of changed up their sound.
Yeah, they got even heavier. They kind of came back even heavier.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because that was after...
It was after Turbo and Ram It Down,
That's
I
right.
believe. And then
Turbo, Ram It Down, then Painkiller.
And they came back with a vengeance on Painkiller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Halford left.
Yeah, the
and
Ripper
Tim
years.
Ripper
Yeah,
Owens
yeah. Let's
joined the
talk
band.
about that briefly. What do you think about those two albums? We're talking Juggulator and Demolition.
I don't have them. Sorry, I'm a purist.
They're out of print.
Yeah. Well.
Well, okay. You've heard them. What do you think?
Of course. I felt like it was Judas Priest karaoke. No disrespect to Tim, because he does have a great voice.
He
but
has
he's
a great
doing
voice.
Halford.
He has a great voice. I only know him through those two albums, so I don't want to make a ruling on him as a vocalist. But they feel uninspired.
Right.
Is my thing. You know what I mean?
They were kind of, like I said, pumping out records because they had to.
Yeah, yeah. And I think
And Halford left. He was on doing his own stuff.
Exactly.
His solo stuff.
Yeah, and maybe that's because Tim was not involved in the songwriting.
Right.
It was basically Downing and Tipton writing the songs.
Right.
And usually it was a collaboration between Downing, Tipton, and Halford.
But this is the first album where that happened, where all 5 members actually
Right.
wrote together.
Yeah, yeah.
Previous albums, it wasn't that way.
Right.
This is where Tipton started working a lot more with Halford on future releases.
Right, yeah.
In the songwriting capacity.
Right.
So, yeah, no disrespect to the Ripper.
Yeah, it's like every now and then I'll put those albums on, just be like, okay, let me give these a go.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoy them, but
It's not the same.
it's not the same. It just
It's
doesn't sound like the
difficult
same.
to replace an iconic
Yeah.
lead singer. The only band that ever got away with it is AC/DC, because everybody
Okay,
loves
there's that.
Bon and everybody loves Brian.
Well, let's talk about the Dio years for Black Sabbath. Yeah, but
even Dio got some shit for a while.
I kind of feel like in that case, well, Dio has his own personality.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to do Ozzy.
No.
He was doing Dio.
It was a different Black Sabbath
Exactly.
with Dio
And,
on board.
Yeah, and a really good Black Sabbath.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they only did the 2 albums. Priest only did the 2 albums with the Ripper, and then Rob came back.
Maybe if Rob had never come back, maybe Tim would have grown into his role with them. Maybe. You never know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a footnote. Those 2 albums, they really are.
And the movie Rockstar is loosely based on that whole situation.
I've
Have you ever
heard
seen that
about
with
that.
Mark
No, is that
Wahlberg,
any
with
good?
Marky Mark?
Is it any good?
Now they're calling it a dramedy. But when it came out,
Okay.
I didn't take it that way.
What'd you take it as?
Piece of shit. No, never. I can't
Okay.
say that. It's a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to loosely be based on what happened with Halford and the other guys in the band.
Okay.
And Ripper being discovered and taking over.
So he plays the Ripper character?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
So it's kind of like a tragedy.
Mark. Yeah, it's a tragedy. Okay. Yeah, it kind of is. But, rock fans went to go see it. You rarely see films like that.
Yeah,
Heavy
true.
metal movies.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
They took a lot of creative license.
Of course, it's
for
not.
this.
It's not a.
It's all based
a
on
biopic.
rumor.
It's
yeah.
just like
It's all
a
rumor
fictional
and
version
hearsay.
of that.
Yeah. So, but it's funny now that it's classified as a drama comedy, a dramedy.
Interesting.
Where
Okay.
I think when it came out, it was not trying to be a drama comedy. Everybody found it so comical.
So you don't think it was trying to be funny? It was unintentionally funny.
Unintentionally funny to begin
Okay,
with. Now they're
right.
saying, "Oh no, that's what we
Oh
meant to do."
yeah, we meant it. Yeah.
It's supposed to be
totally
like
funny.
Spinal Tap. It's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so when it
They
came out.
rebranded the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people were pissed off that Marky Mark was playing a metal singer, and it's not his voice in the movie.
Oh really? Okay.
It's Miles Kennedy.
Okay.
Who's also played with Slash, Alter Bridge,
Huh.
and he's got a great voice. He doesn't sound anything like Rob Halford.
Right. Okay.
He's got his own thing going on, but he can hit those high notes, those
Really?
soaring high notes. Great
Okay.
singer.
All right. Should we get into this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Track 1 is Exciter.
Great title.
It's a great way to start out.
If my player doesn't hiccup again.
There we go. Now, this has been cited as an early example of speed metal.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think of
You
that?
can hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cited as a very influential
Yeah.
speed metal song.
And partly that was driven by Les Binks' style.
Right.
Because that was new to the band at this time.
The double pedaling and
Exactly. Yeah.
double bass.
Yeah.
And Halford singing.
Yeah.
There he
yeah,
goes,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And the guitar. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great way to start off an album.
And it invokes you. If you can't get behind a song called Exciter,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It just says it right away, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to like this. Hang on.
I
You
feel
know?
like I say this in every album we do, but this is like the mission statement for this album.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
this is what you're getting in for.
Right.
Yeah,
This is not the Priest you
it's
knew.
a new Judas Priest.
Right.
And we are rocking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I
great
just have to
stuff.
say, who is this man? Where is he from?
Right. Yes, and this came out, I think, a year before Motorhead's Overkill and Bomber,
Okay.
where then everybody was like, oh, I guess speed is the new creed.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
metal,
yeah.
speed is
Yeah.
the new creed.
Yeah.
So-
There's the solo. Yeah. Now, do you know who's soloing it here?
This is Tipton.
This is
he
Tipton?
took over more of the solo lead guitar stuff on this album.
Okay.
On this album.
Yeah.
Where Downing started taking a little bit more of a rhythm approach. They do switch off. There are dueling solos on this album.
Yeah.
And like what they do live.
Okay.
But it was more Tipton on this record. He kind of slotted right in there.
Yeah.
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 With his red leather jeans.
Yep. Any more on this one?
No, that just at its kick ass.
It's a kick ass song. It really is.
I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to not play it.
I know.
To stop it.
Yeah.
We get the crescendo.
Yeah.
Taking you to the top of the mountain and kicking your ass off it.
Yep. Yeah.
As you fall down. Any other singer would make that sound like boring scales.
Yeah.
But Halford makes it sound like really interesting drama.
Yeah.
You know?
He knows what he's doing.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
And the machine guitars.
Mm-hmm. Next up, White Heat, Red Hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds a little more familiar, just the opening.
It does, right?
Yeah.
It's got kind of a bluesy riff going on.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
The kind of fuzzed out guitar sound.
Uh-huh. Very kind of early 70s.
And go right into that solo in the intro.
Yeah.
To lead you in.
And his voice is kind of processed here, right? Like, what do you hear going on?
I hear some echo.
Okay.
I hear maybe a tight echo on his voice. Maybe even slightly doubled.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's more echo.
Okay.
From what I'm hearing.
It sounds kind of like, what's the term
See
for
right
it?
there. That's double. Or echo.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'd say more echo.
Okay.
That's echo, not double. Maybe.
Yeah.
You would never think I worked in a fucking studio or played in a band. Because I never really dissect it like that when I'm listening to it.
Yeah,
I just kind of,
you just kind of
groove to it.
Yeah.
Mosh around and bang my head.
Yeah.
Never really stopping going, what's he using right there? I'm not that technical.
Okay.
Until put in the spot by you.
Well, exactly. Right, what else on this one?
Red. Hot. Well, also, I mean, the lyrics on this are a little bit darker.
Yeah, now that's the
than
thing
previous
that
albums.
pervades this whole album.
Yeah.
It's considered pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a left turn for them.
It goes there many times, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely probed a dark edge earlier. I mean,
Probed.
The Ripper was one of their songs. I mean, it's kind of goofy, but...
Well, that's where Tim took his name from.
Exactly.
Being in his Judas Priest cover band was British Steel. I think it
right,
might be.
yeah.
British Steel.
That's right, yeah.
British Steel. The riddle of steel. But no, great guitar solos, just awesome stuff. If you're into metal and you don't like this record, there is something seriously wrong with you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
As much as we say anti-seminal, for me, this is a big album.
If you
but
are...
it's kind of not up there on the list.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if for most people, Judas Priest, I would say it's Scream for Vengeance, British Steel, Painkiller, maybe throw Defenders of the Faith in there.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have the big singles off them.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people know that this is really where they became metal.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about this a lot. Early bands, when they're kind of trying out hard blues and kind of working towards metal.
Right.
And then there's always that one album where it's like, okay, now you have discovered metal. This was the one for Judas Priest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forerunners, once again, of the new wave of British heavy metal, whichever way you want to put it.
Yeah.
But this was a forerunner there,
Absolutely.
and they were really recognized.
Yeah.
Someone that worked at Columbia, I think it was Sad Wings of Destiny, got them signed to Columbia.
Because...
Was it Sad Wings of Destiny or Sin After Sin?
Sin After Sin was the first major label one.
Okay, that's
I
right. So it was Sad
believe.
Wings.
Yeah.
Sad Wings of Destiny was the one that got them attention by the
Yeah.
majors. All right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, next up.
Song they got in trouble for.
Okay, first let's...
Not in trouble, but...
Let's talk about the song first and we'll get there.
Okay.
So this is the only cover on this album, right?
Yeah.
Spooky Tooth.
Spooky Tooth, yeah.
Have you checked them out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when I found out years ago that this was a cover.
That's why most people know them.
Yeah, I know.
Through this cover.
I know.
Like, this is heavier than the original, but the original is pretty heavy for that time.
Yeah, I'll go
right?
with that. Yeah, but it's more like creamish, like cream heavy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, it's still great.
Yeah, well,
it's more stoner rock.
What do you think of Spooky Tooth in general?
I like them.
They're good.
I like
right?
them. Yeah, and they
yeah.
got a great name. I kind of like Spooky Tooth as a name.
Yeah.
Better by you, better than
Now,
me.
I heard that this was added on the insistence of CBS Records.
They wanted covers all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Things that people would know, but did people even know Spooky Tooth?
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So they would figure that if a band like Judas Priest covered a band like that was kind of under the radar, kind of forgotten, they would think it was their own.
Right, okay.
Listeners would think Priest wrote this.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, when I was a kid, I thought they did. I didn't know about Spooky Tooth beforehand.
It does kind of sound like them, right?
They did make it their own.
Yeah,
that's why.
exactly. Which
they
is
really
something
made it their
that
own.
Judas Priest is very good at.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, Diamonds and Rust.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah.
Great example. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the thing.
Well, yeah, with the two kids that committed
Let's
suicide.
talk about it. Let's get there. Yeah, we got it. We might have spent some time on this, but in 1985, there was a trial.
Right.
They were accused of what, Walt?
Putting subliminal messages into their music.
The message "Do it" on this song in particular.
With the backmasking.
And allegedly, the kids were listening to this album, and they're probably smoking pot.
Probably. Or something else. Right.
And it
ain't pot's fault.
They both shot themselves with a shotgun. One of them survived.
The kid, I forget their names. It's so bad.
Yeah.
One kid shoots the other kid, then tries to shoot himself, and he survived. He survived for 3 years,
Exactly.
died 3 years later.
And horribly disfigured.
Yeah.
So he claimed that they heard the message "Do it," which could mean anything, like do what exactly?
Right.
But they took it as he claims they took it as message to commit suicide.
Right.
And they actually
then you could blame Nike. That's saying just do it.
Yeah, they actually had a trial about this.
Yeah.
Which is, they were. Rob Halford says that they were in court every day for a month.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on MTV News and regular news.
It was
news programs.
It was a big deal. They were cleared of all charges. The judge decided that he could not establish that there were intentional subliminal messages in there. He didn't go so far as to say that the whole thing was kind of ridiculous.
Right.
Because, I mean, one point that a lot of people made is, why would a band tell their audience to commit suicide?
Exactly.
If they're going to put a message in, the message should be,
buy more records.
Buy 10 copies of this, right?
Exactly,
I mean,
see our show.
In context, I think that this whole thing was one of the first
witch hunts when it came to metal, artists,
and kind of battles in what we now know of as the culture wars.
Right.
Because a lot of the money that went into the plaintiff case came from sort of the conservative fundamentalist.
Right.
Part of their sort of thing against metal and all the things that they felt were ills of society. Because everyone talks about the backward masking, but there was an overall message that they're trying to convey, which is that record companies and groups like Judas Priest should know better than to write kind of dark albums that kids who were, vulnerable and influential might hear and do something bad based on.
Right.
Which is a slippery slope argument.
True.
True. If you can't, just write depressing music or depressing movies or whatever because you're worried that someone might do something bad or whatever, that's... that was their overall argument. And thankfully it failed because,
shortly after we had the PMRC.
And they were taken to task for that, too. A different song, different album. That was Eat Me Alive, right?
Yeah. Eat Me Alive. Great stuff, though. But see, as a kid, I always loved this stuff, and I never blamed any of my stupidity on listening to metal records, rock records. Yeah, exactly. Or video games or movies, nothing like that.
I mean, if you are really going to take people to task for putting out something that may have influenced someone to commit suicide, I'm willing to bet that more than one young person has committed suicide and left a book of Sylvia Plath's poems on the bedside.
Right.
And no one has gone after the publisher of Sylvia Plath's poetry.
Right.
It was really trying to go after what they saw as sort of, satanic, evil music or whatever.
Rock and roll has always faced that, though.
Exactly. And it got really big around this time.
Metal was the new rock and roll. So they went after the metal acts.
Yeah.
And especially with the album covers and stuff. You can see where Squares would be like, this is going to make my kid kill himself. No way. I can't have this.
Do something, because they did traffic in satanic imagery. We know that. And that was part of the appeal.
Yeah, exactly. It was part of the fun.
That's why we bought those records.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, rock and roll is rebel music.
Rebel music, right. And who was the first rebel? Satan. So, sorry.
Rob Halford writes, and I'll try to post this on the Facebook page. He felt really, really horrible about this whole thing.
You can see during the footage of the trials, he kind of sat there very somber.
Rob Halford, when you listen to interviews with him, he's a really sensitive, good guy,
intelligent
dude.
Yeah.
It just I get that sense from him, and he felt that if he could just sort of talk to the mother, like meet over coffee, he just wanted to give her a hug and say, "I'm so sorry for your loss."
Yeah.
But there is so much other stuff and so much money and like lawyers and shit involved that he could never have that moment.
Right.
The whole thing was just really, really sad. It really made him sad too.
These young guys were touched in one way or the other
beforehand. They had really rough lives. They were abused.
You see? Yeah.
They had addiction problems.
Right, yeah.
None of that has to do with one album by Judas Priest.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
if you're mentally unstable, you can blame anything
if
at
you
that
want,
point.
If you want to go after their influences, I'm sure there are lots of other albums in their record collection that were just as dark and depressing as... We're belaboring the point, but...
Yeah, they went after Ozzy too, and
exactly. It's hard to believe that this actually happened.
I know
that this was an actual case,
right?
And then we're not even talking about the sheer ridiculous concept that something that you can't consciously hear that might be backwards, you can comprehend, on any level.
Yeah, really.
And there's no science that says that that's actually possible.
Right.
I'll post that on Facebook as well.
That's kind of science fiction. It's kind of science fiction.
It's completely science fiction.
You know?
Yeah.
Visually, I might get behind that, a subliminal image.
How?
They use it in commercials and stuff like that to get you to purchase something. You know, I'm not really susceptible to that shit.
But they have never established that it actually works.
Right.
They have done the scientific studies.
But I guess I like the conspiracy theory aspect of it.
Well, they do it.
You know what I mean?
They do it because they'll do anything.
Right.
But
like sexual imagery hidden in ads, advertisements.
Yeah, they do that, but no one has been able to establish that it actually makes you buy more of that thing.
Right.
And they've done the science.
Right.
There's nothing there. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do. You know, I don't agree with any of it. I think it's kind of fun. Some of the ideas of it, not suicide, of course.
Yeah.
That is just tragic.
Exactly.
No matter how it happens.
Exactly.
It's a tragic
of course. Yeah. I mean, it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
What these young men did. Yes.
Exactly. Cannot blame a record album for being the culprit, being the catalyst.
It's just ludicrous.
There's so many other things that were involved. So many other aspects about these boys' lives.
I mean, that mother, two mothers, two sets of parents were grieving, absolutely grieving, but Judas Priest should not have been the victim of that grief.
Right.
That's, I think, what it comes down to. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you made the point on this one?
Yeah. Of course, we had to talk about it. Though. It was
everywhere
for a while.
It was a big thing. And have you ever heard anything on this song that sounds like it's...
That's the thing. I've looked for it.
Yeah,
no.
Exactly. I've been,
No.
And we're obsessed about these things.
Oh, yeah.
We've tracked down every backward mass thing we've done on Pink Floyd.
Yep.
I've done on ELO.
Like you said, Ozzy just a minute ago.
Yeah, the Beatles. Yeah,
Right.
we're those guys.
Yeah.
Never heard anything on this.
No, see, I can't even point out exactly where it is.
They claim that when they analyze it, it's just like an accidental thing that happens between the vocals and the guitar. Like it's completely unintentional because there were intentional backward masking things,
right?
And they're usually jokes,
yeah, right,
like on Pink Floyd, The Wall,
right, exactly,
or on ELO, it says turn the music, turn it back around,
right,
whatever,
Try to kill your audience,
that's
that doesn't make any
good
sense.
marketing strategy.
Doesn't make any sense.
All right, we should probably move on, right?
Yeah, so apparently there was supposed to be another cover on this album, Race with the Devil, by a UK band called Gun, or The Gun. Have you ever heard it? When I found that out, I had to look them up.
Yeah. How's the song?
It's cool. I dig it.
Oh, okay.
I dig it. I could see what Priest would have done with that.
Okay.
And apparently it was released eventually, but not on this album, on a reissue.
Okay.
I think it was Jesus Christ.
Walt.
I know, right? God damn. Fucking beer. So yeah, British hard rock power trio Gun. I felt they've influenced bands like Fu Manchu and Wolfmother.
Okay.
It's kind of like that sound. Once again, a little bit stoner rockish.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't included on this album, Stained Class. Saw official release in 2001 as a bonus track on the expanded CD reissue of Sin After Sin.
Oh, interesting.
As opposed to Stained Class.
Okay, that's where I heard it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, check out Gun. They're kind of fun if you like stoner rock stuff. And this is before it was coined as stoner rock.
Okay, interesting.
So 1968. Song from 68.
Cool.
The band Gun.
Okay, next up is the title track, Stained Class. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a great galloping kind of rhythm, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of great metal bands have.
Yeah.
Going for them, you know?
Woo! Yeah. That's
there.
Cool.
You go.
That's
You're
right.
heading out to the highway.
Yep, yeah. Which is another song.
Yep. On your motorcycle with no helmet.
This might be one of the most philosophical songs on the album. The lyrics hint at a loss of moral clarity and a kind of existential despair.
Damn, that's smart words.
I want to commit suicide.
Them's his smart words. You want to commit suicide? Oh,
Bad
come
joke,
on.
bad joke. I know, it's a bad
Too
joke.
soon,
Sorry,
especially after last.
Sorry, bad joke, yeah.
After talking about
Yeah,
the last track.
But
Bad Max, Bad
all,
Max.
All joking aside, they do touch on some pretty weighty topics.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean,
sure.
yeah. But I kind of feel like that is something to do with their maturing as a band.
Yeah.
And as lyricists and
Yeah.
kind of like thinking
Right.
about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about, too, this is the darkest record so far
Exactly. Yeah.
in their discography.
Can you think of a darker record than this one?
Oh, hard-pressed for that,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't know. Yeah.
The other records kind of went back and forth between more science fiction type topics and get out on the highway on your motorbike, have a good time all the time kind of thing.
Yeah, they became kind of more of a party band.
A little bit, but heavier, and not like the hair metal bands of the 80s.
Yeah.
They still had a lot more cred, in my opinion, than, say, your Warrants and your Bon Jovi. And
Sure.
Although people will probably kill me for saying that about Bon Jovi, but I am just not a Bon Jovi
Listen
fan.
to this right here.
Yeah.
We'll talk about his vocals.
Oh, they're fucking stellar.
Yeah, he's pretty. What is his range?
Oh, it's just sent
It's
from
phenomenal.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a metal god. And he proves it every time he gets on stage or records a record.
Yeah.
He's got those high. Just can't
Yeah,
even
it's
describe
incredible.
it.
Yeah.
It's not operatic, but he can hit these notes that are just glass breaking.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And when we saw them live,
Yeah.
he hit one note where we actually covered our ears
Yeah,
for a second. You felt it in your eardrum.
Yep.
Like, holy shit, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt for a second. Mm-hmm. So, and the sound guy, I'm sure, pulled the faders down a little bit real fast. He's like, you're going to murder the audience. You're going to blow their eardrums out. But and we were a little concerned for half a second because it's an older Priest.
Exactly.
But man, they
Older
still
Halford.
brought it.
Yeah,
still
yeah,
brought it.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
killing it. The metal god still has it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hear the youthfulness in his voice here.
Yeah,
in comparison to later albums.
Right.
Yeah.
But he can do the guttural, and then he can do these really high-pitched wails.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way, in a
No,
good way.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's still hitting notes.
Yeah.
It's not like just balls out screaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like other singers that I like can do that too. They can do that well.
Yeah.
But he's just, man, there's still, like I said, notes in what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what octaves he hits.
Yeah.
And I should have looked that up, but I'm sure it's way up there. Way up there.
Yeah.
Off the Richter scale, so to speak.
Yeah.
The man can start earthquakes with his voice. Avalanches.
Yep.
Just a great, great singer. Iconic. Mm-hmm. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Like you said in the background, the galloping
Yeah.
underneath the solo.
Great combination.
Yeah, like I said, you can see being on your chopper. Mm-hmm.
Which he frequently was.
Yeah.
He was a big fan of motorcycles.
Motorcycle culture, yeah.
He used to ride them on
on stage.
And he got hurt one time, right?
Where it fell over, yeah. Well, because you're riding the damn thing onto a small stage.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's not going to go badly at all. Yeah.
But it became a prop after a while for them on stage. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't bring it out when we saw them, we were going to be disappointed. Like, he's got to bring the bike out.
Okay, next up we have Invader. Do we?
Yes? Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's just got that slow build.
The slow
going
build,
on.
yeah. Fade in.
Yep. It's really processed, this opening.
Yeah.
It's got this kind of...
flangey, kind of almost theremin sounding.
Yeah. Which they... It's not the kind of thing that they did a lot.
No.
Right? Yeah. They're pretty much clean rock and roll, not so much in the soundscape. But here it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, earlier, little Queen influence.
Earlier, yeah. There we go, yeah.
It's like almost a science fiction opening.
Yeah, uh-huh. What do you got in this one?
Just that it's a great track. I love every single song on this album.
Yeah, me too.
I have no complaints.
It's a solid album, yeah.
Just sounds great. Mm-hmm. Once again, like you said, I think Halford has some echo effect on his voice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he has to double. His voice has power. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he has to double his voice too much. If he is, then it's almost seamless. It's pretty much seamless, I should say. Mm-hmm. It sounds more like Echo to me. But there is a little something there. Well, I don't think they use too much more later on. Maybe a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Where they got a little more confident in the studio and relied less on effects and trickery or what have you. You know, studio magic, so to speak. But that sounds very pop. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry, yeah.
The chorus sounds very popish to me.
No, I got you, yeah.
It's a hook.
Yeah, it is,
That's the hook.
That's something that they developed a little bit later, which, they had some radio-friendly stuff later on. One thing we haven't talked about is how...
That's definitely... I'm sorry. That's definitely Echo, where the echo rings out.
That I'm hearing. Yeah. Is how melodic a lot of Halford's vocals are.
Yeah.
Which I think is one thing that makes them so compelling.
Yeah.
They're really good at solid melodies within the metal, that just sort of grab you.
And like we talked about with Iron Maiden as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other band that I would really put in that kind of vein.
And that's why when I was younger, it was like, oh man, it's so heavy. You get a little older and you're like, you know what? These guys put together well-crafted songs.
Absolutely.
Well-crafted albums. Well-crafted music.
Very much so, yeah.
So it's funny how some people look at it heavier than what I consider to be heavy.
Interesting.
You understand what I mean? I think that they're heavy as hell in one respect. But they're not like, say, Slayer.
No, they're not.
You understand what I mean? Slayer is just hitting you over the head.
Exactly.
And
all
same
the
thing.
time.
And same thing, though. Slayer writes some great music. These are well-crafted songs.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of metal.
Exactly.
I think Slayer's more considered thrash metal. And definitely influenced by Priest.
Right. Yeah.
Every metal band on the face of the planet is influenced by Priest and Maiden and the other bands that came along with around the same time. But yeah, no, just well-crafted songs.
They had some really heavy albums, but they were never quite that heavy.
Right. But you got to consider when this came out, too.
True.
We're talking about 78.
This is 78.
This is not Led Zeppelin. This is not Black Sabbath. And we love them. But this is a different type of rock and metal.
Just to set up a context of a contemporaries, which Black Sabbath album is this roughly contemporary with?
I would go more the Dio years.
This is Dio years. Okay.
Yeah, I would go more Dio years than Ozzy.
Okay.
That was a whole different type of Black Sabbath with Dio.
Yeah.
The dynamic had changed when Dio became the singer for Black Sabbath, like we talked about earlier.
Right, yeah.
And Sabbath became faster and heavier, too, with Dio as the front man. So it's interesting.
This is Saints in Hell.
There it is.
Yeah. Now, we were just speaking of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Right?
Very Sabbath.
Yeah.
Very Iommi.
Absolutely, yeah.
That dirgy kind of sound.
Yeah. This driving bass comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just stomping the foot. Drummers just stomping.
We don't talk about the bass player. This is Ian Hill.
Ian Hill.
Yeah. His work is not prominent, but you definitely do hear on songs like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out.
Right.
Yeah. And he's a solid rhythm guy.
Yeah. And I think an underappreciated bass player in rock and metal, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Metal especially.
Yeah.
Everybody always forgets his name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he's still with them, right?
Yeah.
He's been there. Yeah. He has been there a long time.
Yeah, if you saw him on the street, would you recognize him?
No way.
See? That's the thing, right? If he's not dressed up in the leather and the whole nine, probably not.
Yeah.
Everybody always forgets the bass player.
Yeah.
And he's been with them for a long time.
Yeah.
Isn't he a founding member?
He's OG, yeah. He definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's great,
Yeah. Because at this point, God, who have they lost? Well, KK Downing was out, right?
You mean now?
Now, yeah.
He
now,
retired.
At this point, yeah.
Parkinson's.
Right.
He was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah. So we've got Richie Faulkner. One guitarist.
Yep.
Yeah.
As a new guitar player.
And who's their current drummer?
Oh my God, I
can't remember.
That's a good question.
The drummer, I can't keep track of drummers.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we talked about Dave Holland, but I don't know who's drumming for them right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if you guys know, please comment.
Yeah.
Let us know who's drumming for Priest right now.
Yeah.
Because we're not looking anything else up.
No,
we're done with this. We're done with this.
Never, ever. But is this a kick-ass track?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right there. I mean, you saw shades of Halford's voice like this on previous albums.
Yeah.
But right here, it's come to fruition for me. Yeah. The way his voice sounds. And here, like a classic kind of Priest breakdown.
And here, it kind of sounds like marching towards martyrdom or something.
Right.
You know?
Right. Dun, 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 dun. Fart, 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 fart.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing the guitar playing at all.
Yeah.
I'm just making dumb jokes.
And Saints in Hell. I mean, come on. It's a great title.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It asked that question about religion, faith, and martyrdom.
There is stuff in there that you can wrap your head around and like think about. And,
Yeah.
Kinda like it's great.
The call and response.
Yeah.
With his own voice, which is great. Saints in hell, hell.
All right.
Great
Let's move
stuff.
on, right?
Yeah. We're going down.
And this is Savage. Listen to that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Already.
Right out the box. Hitting those notes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would seriously take a dump in my pants if I tried to sing like that. I would just piss myself. Just be like, oh, I pissed in my shoes. I don't know how he does it, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
incredible.
blessed vocally.
Yeah.
He is blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And as a fan, I'm glad that he can do this stuff, man. It's incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really is. Yeah.
There is a reason why he is the metal god.
Yeah.
Can't say that enough.
And this song is also kind of it's got some going on. It's a critique of colonialism, essentially.
Right. That's right. I read that.
The colonialists are the savages, not those that they are calling the savages, essentially.
Right. Yeah. Where they moved in and took over and slaughtered, raped, killed, pillaged, etc., etc.
Yeah. Thoughtful album in many ways.
Right.
Yeah.
See, but these were subjects that metal touched on more than any other genre of music in my mind. Mm-hmm. You know, because they are dark themes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think there's a lot of protest music that would take this kind of subject on.
It's true. That's very true. But not from that angle, from that certain angle.
Okay, yeah.
Powerful stuff. Mm-hmm. And once again, not promoting the savagery.
No, this
kind
is,
of calling
this
it out and
saying... critiquing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. At the end, he's like saying, you're the savage.
But it's always misconstrued as being the other way around when it comes to metal.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. They don't listen
talking about killing people and this and that. Yeah. If you delve a little deeper and really listen to the lyrics, the context,
it's true. Yeah,
you get more out of it.
Yeah,
and you might start to appreciate it a little bit more. Yeah, I'm talking to you people out there that don't like metal. Get into metal.
Why are you listening to this podcast if you don't like metal?
So they can critique us and come after us. The PMRC, if they were still around, we'd be in trouble.
Oh yeah,
we'd be on trial. Damn, I just gave somebody an idea.
Yeah, no.
No, I retract that. I retract that.
Talk to my lawyer. All right, next up, and here we are beyond the realms of death.
Awesome metal title.
Yeah. And we start out with something more acoustic, more ballad-like.
Who the drummer wrote, actually. He wrote this piece, yeah. Huh. He's also a guitar player.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he's got a writing credit for the acoustic intro.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
And this is more like the kind of epic songwriting they did on previous albums. Feels like
right.
It's got
opus
kind of,
feeling.
Exactly.
It's got a feeling like that.
Yeah.
Feels that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention on the previous track that was more KK's track.
Okay.
For Savage.
Okay.
I think he wrote the majority of that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is also, it sets up the classic metal trope, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
With the haunting vocal.
Yeah.
The guitar playing very slowly and melodically in the background, hauntingly.
Yeah.
And then you'll get into the big bombastic side of the track, side of the song. Which so many bands.
Yep.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a change from what they were just doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you got to admit, a lot of bands have done this across the board.
Absolutely.
Now, they didn't reinvent the wheel. They just took the wheel and said, we want to make a larger, heavier one. Yeah. So we're going to do that.
With silver metal spokes that you can injure yourself on.
Right. Yeah. Spikes coming out of it.
Exactly, yeah.
And it will explode on contact. There's a joke in there, too. But no, it's a great song.
It's a good track, yeah. Was this the only... They sang this when we saw them.
They
I
don't
believe,
yeah.
right? Was this the only song of this album that they sang we saw them?
I believe
think so. Right?
They do not play a lot of these songs live.
No, yeah.
Since their inception,
right, yeah.
They have not played a lot of these songs live.
Yeah.
I would think that they would play Exciter.
You would think so.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we saw them.
Yeah. Interesting.
And other times, what I looked up was that they haven't played a lot of these besides Beyond the Realms of Death.
Yeah.
And you can see why. This is a great arena,
it is
rock arena type song.
It is.
But it's kind of sad that they don't play a lot of these tunes that are off this record live. So yeah, Priest, we're talking to you. Please dust some of them off for us.
I mean, with all these albums, it's kind of tough to represent all of them.
Oh, especially if they're touring behind a new one.
It's true, yeah.
Like, with Firepower, or like when we saw them on Redeemer of Souls tour. Yeah. You gotta promote the new stuff, too.
Exactly.
But they've been around for a while. Of course, if a fan buys a ticket, they want to appease the fans. Yeah. They want to hear stuff from their entire catalog. And I'm glad that when we went to go see them, they played a lot of everything from every record.
They played Victim of Changes.
Yeah, which we thought they weren't going to play.
Yeah, we were very happy
worried
about that. Yeah.
We were worried they weren't going to play it.
That was probably the oldest track that they played, right?
I would think so. I don't think they didn't play anything off Rock and Roll.
No, that one, they just ignored that one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's funny because the diehard fan, like we are, we love this record.
Yeah.
You want to hear some of these tracks live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So for whatever reason, they don't do them. Maybe they've considered, we just want to play this one.
It's anti-seminal.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we're doing it. Yeah. It's unfortunately overlooked very often.
I think to the general public, not to us.
Exactly. Not to us.
Not to us.
Not to hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fans that like Judas Priest will cite this record.
Yeah.
They will say, if you haven't heard it, you have to listen to this one.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody loves Screaming for Vengeance. Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Fantastic. Everything this guy does.
Yeah.
Everything Tipton and KK do. It's gold. Sonic Gold. Name of a band. Sonic Gold.
You can't have that. Nobody take that.
Somebody's got it. I'm sure somebody took that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, so good.
Yeah. Okay, let's close this out. We don't want to cut this one off, but still.
I know.
And the last track is Hero's End.
Metal bands always like talking about heroes dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I mean, Zeppelin with Achilles' Last Stand. Metallica's One.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that sound.
This kind of feels like the kind of riff that would dominate later tunes, like You've Got Another Thing Coming.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
It's got that kind of feel to it.
That kind of muted guitar. Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
Like the palm muted kind of.
Exactly, yeah.
Kind of trudging away.
Yeah. And driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always felt to me like the immovable force pushing the unmovable object, like kind of thing, like the push and pull. It always felt like that. Just fighting against something.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else you got?
Just that, once again, I love the track. Yeah.
It's a good track. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. The lyrics are good. Once again, have lyrical hooks happening.
Yeah.
The delivery of the chorus. Why do you have to die to be a hero? He puts these things together. They're just catchy, and they stick in your head.
Yeah.
No matter what, they just stick in your brain. You might not know all the verses, but you'll definitely know the fucking chorus.
Yeah.
And Halford does that really well.
Yeah.
No matter what song it is. Like, come on. And the way he comes right in there, No pause, no wait. He just jumps right into the chorus. They jump right into it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it's just Halford. It's the entire band.
Exactly.
Which is always tough to do, especially live. You got to be seasoned. You got to know what you're doing to jump right into that chorus. No pause, no wait. Just bang. You're right in.
Yeah.
And I think this is a prime example of that skill. For me, anyway. So many bands do it, but like I said, we're talking about a record that came out in 1978.
True, yeah.
As a metal record,
Yeah.
Once again, the call and response.
Yeah.
Which works.
Nice.
Almost sounds like two different voices at points, right?
It does.
The way he does it,
Yeah, he's got that.
He's
kind
got
of
the
range.
lower and then the higher response. Lower call, higher response.
Mm-hmm. Now, my understanding is they grew up in a factory town.
Yeah, it was Birmingham.
With like furnaces and metalworks all around them.
Like Sabbath.
And Glenn Tipton had been an apprentice at British Steel, the company.
Oh.
Like he actually did work in metalworks.
Wow.
You know, it's like they were birthed in this a heavy metal place.
Right.
In a sense, you know? Yeah.
Smolding.
It's like it was, it was like in their blood somehow. Just like the birthright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys that came from that town in England.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about Sabbath and stuff. It stayed with them. Made their music heavier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They talked about different types of situations and topics.
Yeah.
Because of it. Mm-hmm. You know, they weren't part of the whole love, peace generation.
No.
The whole flower power movement. Because they didn't see that where they were.
Yeah, working class in that kind of town, you're just not going to see that.
Right.
No.
It's
what's
home,
going on there?
Work, pub, home. Work,
yeah, exactly.
pub.
Exactly.
Where you got all your meals and the whole thing, too. So, yeah, it's a whole different lifestyle.
Yeah.
As opposed to what they live like now. And they deserve it, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't often say that about certain celebrities and certain bands, but bands like Priest and Sabbath, they worked from jump to create a new style of genre. Mm-hmm. And they followed their instincts and their heart. You know, that sounded really, really soft. That was really romanticizing it. But
they paid their dues.
Yeah,
they
followed the dream, so to speak.
Yeah.
And stuck with it. A lot of them all say the same thing, too. If they didn't discover music, they would have been in jail or dead, per where they grew up and who they were hanging out with and the whole nine. So music saved their lives, and to a certain extent, for me, personally speaking, some of this music saved my life, too.
How so?
You know, just because. Just because.
You're not going to get personal on
No.
Okay.
No, it saved my life in the sense that it opened new doors of creativity.
Sure, okay.
Not in any dire way.
Yeah.
I've never had any weird thoughts or anything like that.
You've had weird thoughts?
Oh, yeah, all kinds, but not like that.
Okay.
Not
all right.
that dark.
Just want to, parse that out there, yeah.
Right, you know, it saved my life in the sense that if these guys can be so creative, it inspires you to do something different.
Right.
Try something different.
Yeah.
Be open to new experiences.
Be best.
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah. The best of the best. What do you mean?
All right, now we come to...
Gun to the head!
So what is your top song on this album? And this is tough. We know this is tough.
Like I said, I love every song on this album, so it's very, very difficult for me.
Yep.
Very difficult. Man, I am torn between Exciter and Saints in Hell.
Okay.
Torn between those two is top.
All right.
I'm sure a lot of people would say Exciter.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I would say so. And there's a reason why it's the opener. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to go Saints in Hell.
Okay.
That's my top.
Funny, that's mine.
What?
Yeah.
We agree!
That is mine, yeah. Actually, that is mine.
Ding, ding, ding!
Yeah, I like the way it's put together as a song. I like the way it goes through different things, but it doesn't get too expansive. It's still restrained as a song. It's still an example of tight songwriting.
Yeah.
I think the lyrics are really interesting. I think they merit deeper attention. I love the fact that the rhythm section is really driving on this one. I like the fact that you can really hear the bass, but it's also got great guitar solos, great vocals. It's got everything going on.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Dark lyrics, great playing. If you didn't know the lyrics, you wouldn't think it was a dark song.
Right, yeah.
It feels ominous, but it doesn't hit you over the head with that darkness, with that ominous feeling.
Yeah.
It just kind of has its subtlety, which I like.
Yeah.
Once you read the lyrics, you're like, oh, wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree 100%. So
cool.
And man, this is what, the third time maybe we agree on
this
one?
This is not good.
I know.
Yeah.
Shit. We got to start disagreeing real soon.
Yeah. Well, here's an opportunity.
Okay.
What's your
gun to the head reverse.
Other yeah.
Lose a song. Oh man. See, like I said, this is very difficult for me because I really like every song on the album.
No, I agree.
You know what?
Deep contemplation.
Oh my God, it's so hard for me. It's so hard right now.
That good, huh?
Oh yeah, it's very good. You know what? I'm gonna go White Heat, Red Hot.
Okay.
It's very pop oriented to me, a little bit.
Okay.
Especially coming off Exciter as the opener. It kind of takes a turn. So maybe in album placement, that's why I would go White Heat, Red Hot.
Okay.
It does stick out a little bit to me when I'm thinking about it now, as opposed to the rest of the tracks on the record. Mm-hmm. It kind of seems like, you know, hey, you're out having a good time and this and that and the other thing. So I think that would be my, if I had to lose one, it would be White Heat, Red Hot.
Okay.
And you?
Invader.
Okay. Why?
Well, only, I mean, yeah, again, I like every song in this album. Only because there are so many songs that have a real drive and a forward, like, hard tempo, that by the time I get to this one on the album, it kind of starts sounding like all the others.
Really?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like I might have gone with White Heat, Red Hot if that had come later in the album.
Okay.
But I think by the time Invader comes up, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I've already heard that on this album. And
all right.
Yeah. Again, only if I had to lose one, I think that's one that I would have to lose.
Okay. Do you think that it has to do with song placement? Because it
comes
right after Stained Class.
That is part of it. Yeah.
So
that's part of it. Like I could go from Stained Class to Saints in Hell.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So good. We disagree.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Yeah, let's keep that up.
We're not happy when we're agreeing.
No, it's very, very bad. No conflict. Okay, the album cover. How do we feel about the cover?
You know what? I like it. Very of the time. It's artsy as opposed to their previous album covers. It doesn't say heavy metal to me. It's kind of like something you would see in a gallery in the late 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
Like I said, a departure from the previous 3 albums.
Definitely,
it feels ominous because of the spike going through this silver surfer's head or whatever it is. It feels ominous, but with a splash of like disco glitz.
There is,
right?
That is going
with
on
the lights
there.
going on and the glare and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't really express the album's content for me because I mean, when you talk about that kind of glare and glitter, that's not what this album is doing so much.
And Stained Class, I guess, is a play on stained glass.
Exactly.
So maybe they tried to...
Yeah, that's true.
The artist tried to represent stained glass in a different type of late 70s, early 80s way.
Possibly.
With this head. This head here. And you don't really know what's happening with the eye a little bit, you know. The artist is Roslo Sejbo.
Okay.
So, yeah, I can't... He's a Polish artist, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. I really am. He worked at CBS Records for a long time.
Okay.
And this is the first album that introduces Judas Priest's iconic logo. He also designed it.
That's a cool thing.
The scripted Gothic one.
Yeah, that was different, yeah.
He also designed Hellbent for Leather and British Steel album covers. And he also did The Clash's first debut album cover.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
He's also worked with Elton John, Roy Orbison, Santana, Janis Joplin, and Mott the Hoople, to name a few more.
Now, see, I could see this as a cover for Mott the Hoople and maybe Elton John, except without the spike through the head.
Right. I can see the Elton John factor, yeah.
Yeah. It's not my favorite Judas Priest cover. It's not the
Which one is?
Well, I really like the ones with the kind of biomechanical beasts, you know, like Scream for Vengeance
and Defenders of the Faith, yeah.
Or Painkiller. Like that says like a screaming monstrous thing coming out of the sky. That says Judas Priest to me. Kind of represents their sound to me.
But those were so 80s, kind of almost Nagel-ish, but with, like you said, beastie factor to it.
A bit, yeah.
You know?
I mean, I also like the ones that are kind of more like angels and stuff, like Sad Wings of Destiny, Redeemer of Souls, Angel Retribution. It doesn't match what I'm hearing on the album, I guess. I don't dislike it as just an artistic expression, but if I see this, I don't hear this album. I guess is what I'm saying.
If you were in charge of designing this album cover, what would you go for?
I would go for something more probably darker, more evocative.
Yeah.
So maybe something.
This ain't dark enough for you.
No, it's not very dark. It's not very dark. It's kind of, like you said, kind of glittery, glammy.
Yeah, it's artsy, but I like the fact that they switched from what they were doing previously with the other album covers.
Sure.
They took a chance with this the same way they took a chance with the music.
They did. It's true.
So Judas Priest is a band that cared about what the album covers looked like.
Yeah.
And what their logo looked like. Sure. So there is thought put into this. both by the artist and the band.
I'm sure there is, yeah. I'd be curious to hear what that thought is. Like, why they felt they wanted to go for this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a change. And like I said, it was also
a change, yeah.
A lot of album covers in the late 70s, especially disco was starting to kind of fade away a little.
Yeah.
But it was still prominent in a lot of different artists' representations and gallery work and what have you.
True.
It was still there. Photography was still very of the 70s and the disco era.
True, yeah.
And they're the first rock band, metal band, put together an album cover that looked like this at the time.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's kind of glammy. It's a little glammy and stuff. Other album covers around the same time, Black Sabbath's album covers.
Right, yeah.
And Led Zeppelin. And they only had 2 more records coming out after Priest put out Stained Class. Zeppelin was about to put out their last record, and Sabbath with Ozzy, that was coming right after this.
Yeah.
That type of metal was dying, and Priest took up that mantle at the right time to kind of swoop in and save metal. And then they kind of led the charge. So I think that the album cover for me, as much as I don't think it's perfect, it represents that change.
Okay.
That change in style, that change in look, the way they were dressing up on stage. From denim and dashikis and, cowboy hats and things like this to leather and spikes.
I think if this head had like a leather cap and some spikes, I might go for it more.
Well, they did that also on Hellbent.
Exactly.
Killing Machine.
Yeah.
With the close-up with the glasses. And,
yeah. True. Yeah.
So it was another head on another album cover. More head.
Who wants more head?
Every guy wants to hear, more head.
Agnes Moorehead?
No. Head from what? No. So, and then there's the back, right?
Yes.
Which it just looks like rushing traffic. Once again, this glittery kind of overshot thing.
This is very disco ball.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like Chasing Lights.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pointer Sisters would have a great album cover like this.
Well, it also kind of makes me feel like you said earlier, a touch of Queen's album covers later on.
It could be a good
what I mean?
Queen album cover.
I could see this being like a single cover for like Another One Bites the Dust in the 80s, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It does not say exactly what the album says musically.
Right, yeah.
But I do enjoy it still because it is of the time, and for me it represents a change in the band and the change in direction. So, like you said, as opposed to Sin After Sin and Sad Wings of Destiny and Rock and Rolla, which was just a bottle cap.
That's not a good album cover.
No.
Yeah.
But then later on, they just had, the razor blade, giant razor blade in a hand for British Steel.
Yeah.
So it's funny how that makes me think about how they're telling you with British Steel, that close-up of that razor blade, that giant razor blade, we're not rock and roller anymore.
Yeah.
With that hand clinching that giant razor blade.
Yeah, it's unsettling.
Yeah. A giant razor blade.
Image. Yeah,
You're going to shave with that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
So, I mean, if we disagree on it, that's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
I do like the fact that they've had good album covers.
Sure, yeah.
As a band that I love, because I love so many other bands that have bad album
It's true,
covers,
yeah.
Bad album covers.
I love Sad Wings of Destiny. I mean, it's beautiful.
With the angel down.
It really is, yeah. Point of Entry, not so much.
Yeah, that's just phallic.
It's
just phallic.
Yeah. Or Demolition, they weren't even thinking anymore at that point.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, but every good band, every great artist has iconic album covers, and then they have piss poor ones.
Yeah. Now, Turbo, to me, says what that album is going on.
Yeah.
Because it's got that, it's kind of Nago-esque.
Right.
It's got the woman's hand.
Very 80s,
and it is, and it's a very, very 80s kind of metal with the synthesizer guitars and everything. And
I think across the board, as Priest fans, nobody really cites Turbo as one of the top 10.
No, I would not do that, but I still enjoy it because I just love Priest so much that I enjoy even the weaker ones.
It took me years to go back to that one.
I agree. Same with me.
Years, and now I'm like, you know what? It's not so
bad.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you kind of get into it.
But it's not the first one you're throwing on.
No way. No, not even. It's a great one to do a life cycle to. Or do what's the thing, I forget what it's called. One of the cardio things you do in the gym.
One of them gym things. I
don't know.
One of them
gym things. Yeah,
I work out at home. I do prison workout.
Exactly. Yes.
Work out with weights.
I, like a civilized person, have a gym membership.
Damn you.
Okay, so
I ain't paying for that.
The elliptical. It's a great album for the elliptical.
Why you keep throwing big words at me?
I don't know. Whereas this is a great one for some hard weightlifting.
Okay,
I have different albums suiting whatever workout I'm doing that day. And I have my Judas Priest albums divided in that sense.
Okay.
And Turbo is a great cardio album. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stand by that.
or if you're running from the cops.
True. Yeah.
That doesn't happen that often.
No, never.
That often.
Not this morning, anyway. All right, well, we're wrapped. We love this album. We love Judas Priest. That's obvious. That's obvious because, we were happy to spend a lot of time dissecting this one. I'm going to put up some good content on the Facebook page because there's been some good things that I found, interviews and such, when really exploring this album.
I love listening to Halford when he does interviews.
I love his interviews.
Yeah.
He is such an interesting, smart guy.
Yeah.
He just sounds like a great guy.
You would just like to hang out with him, like you said, have a pint with him.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. He lives in what, Arizona now?
He does? Holy crap.
Yeah.
We're going to find you.
That's his main domicile.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure he has homes in various places.
Right.
But he loves the weather there. He loves like getting out in his hog and just cruising those big desert highways.
Yeah, exactly.
Desert highway. Where you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Heading out to the highway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I love the guy. Yeah, and I think he's a living icon. And thank God he's still with us. We've lost so many. But I'd love to have a pint with the guy and just talk shop for a little bit.
Yeah.
How'd you do this? What'd you do that? You know?
Yeah.
Where was this recorded? What were you guys doing around this time? You know,
some of the best.
And where do you buy your jackets?
Yeah, some of the best interviews I found are there's like a local kind of Arizona cable access show.
Yeah,
and he does some good interviews with them.
Cool.
Yeah, because they're really like it's not like a big studio thing. It's really informal.
Right.
And he's just cutting loose and talking shit. It's nice. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy big pinhead, though.
He does. Yeah. You wouldn't have thought that back in the day.
I know.
When he had that just kind of short.
Right.
Yeah.
The short mullet and then all the short hair and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a victim of changes. Pardon the pun.
Well, I mean, you know, he was the first guy to say in heavy rock and metal, I'm cutting it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys hung on to it where it's like, just get rid of it now.
Exactly.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like Kerry King, love you, Kerry, from Slayer. He hung on to it for the longest and finally he just shaved it all off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, where if you got the big patch on top and you're starting to wear hats and stuff, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
Just do it. Yeah. Do it.
Do it. Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to get in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, so, next up we're going to get into the K's, right? Who are we doing for K?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, after much thought.
Yes.
Killing Joke.
Okay, let's do it.
Their debut album.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
So next time, people are going to do Killing Joke, and we will be coming back at you with that. And you can find us in the meantime on YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitters, iTunes, and Google Play, and our main website is on WordPress. So there are plenty of ways to get a hold of us.
Yeah, comment, check out our videos, listen to our podcast.
I'm gonna put more content on Facebook, stuff that I've been talking about on the album cover.
Yeah, side notes and stuff. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So feel free to get on there and comment and say mean things to us.
Yeah, insult us, please.
Like. Yeah.
I enjoy being insulted.
Oh man, that's a mess, and I'm sure. Okay, let's move on.
All right, everybody. I'm Walt.
I am Max.
Rock on.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.